Hi, this is Denise Mathew, and today I'm going to do a just a plain band ring. Now I've added beads to rings before, but usually you make your own ring beforehand. This is just a stackable ring. It's nice to be able to do something different with them. So it's very simple to take any standard band ring and then you can just add this Druzy bead. So this is a 10mm Druzy bead. It's perfectly flat on the back side. It's great to work with because of that, so it will lay better on the band. I'm working with 24 gauge wire, probably about 2 feet of wire, and you can use more or less according to how many times you want to wrap it around. I string my Druzy right on that wire. Okay, and I'm just going to leave a tail of about 2 to 3 inches. I'll show you why that's important at the end of the when I finish the ring. So now I'm just going to take my wire and I'm just going to wrap it a few times, the wire a few times around the base. Okay, just basically to stabilize it, nothing more. Okay, so that's that, and then I'm just going to leave that tail out. Okay, so, and you don't have to worry about how, as long as it's tight. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to go to the other side, the longer side, and I'm just going to thread that wire through and just do the exact same thing. I'm just going to attach it to the base. So just stabilizing it. Make sure that your ring is exactly in the center, because it can have a tendency to move to one side, to slide to one side or the other because of the way it's positioned on. And then once it's more stabilized, you'll have no issues with that. But for now, you just want to make sure it's right in the center. Okay? Now take your wire, the longer wire, and you're just going to go, and this is where we're going to go at the base of the ring. Okay, we're going to give that base of the ring some stability so that ring, that bead will not slide. Okay, so I'm just going to go around and I'm kind of going underneath. If you notice, I'm going underneath the Druzy and keeping it in the center, and then one more time underneath the Druzy, and then this is what you would have. Now that that's done, you're going to go back to the side of your shorter wire. You're not going to wrap over your shorter wire, just keep that out. Take your long wire and wrap once or twice around the base. Okay, because now you have your base beneath it. Okay, and now you're just going to go back, and this is where you're going to start to frame up that bead, because really right now it's nice and stable, and that's exactly the way we want it. Okay, and if it has adjusted in any way, make sure it's stable and it's exactly the way you want it to be, because now you're pretty much going to keep it in place. And if it's not straight, or if it's crooked or something like that, then you're going to be stuck with it, or you'll have to unwrap, and you don't want to do that. It's going to be a starting point for me to wrap, and I'm just going to start to wrap up and continue to wrap up the side. Okay, and this is where you're framing that bead. Okay, and again, it can spring out of place now because it's not stabilized yet, so you just want to make sure you can, if it starts to slide up, just push it down. Okay, and continue to wrap until you feel like you've wrapped as much as you want. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Okay, now go right back to the original side, and I think that that's enough for me, and I just have all those spaces are filled in the way I want them to, and if they're not exactly the way I want it, I can just always take my pliers and push in a little bit like that, and that will sort of bring my wires together. Just take your wire and you're going to wrap it a few times around the base, and that's going to stabilize your wire, keep your wire in place, and pretty much finishing your ring on that one side. Okay, so just use the rest of your wire on that one side, push it together. So then just trim it back, tuck any stray bits in so it's not sharp, and then go to the other side, and that's why I left this tail, because I want to keep both sides even. And if you notice, there's only a few wraps here and there's many more here. So I'm just going to wrap as much as it takes for me to get it sort of the same, and then I will be done. So when I feel like they're about the same, And you can gauge after you make a few of these, you'll know exactly how much you're going to need. So I have a little bit more, but it's not too much. What you can do after you've done this is you can go back and look at your wire, and if you feel that there's anything that's not exactly the way you want it to be, you can always push in the wires. You can squish the wires together so there's less space, and all you're going to do is you're going to just reveal the druzy a bit more. But ultimately, that would be the finished product. So this concludes the tutorial. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.